Since you've already taken a class in anthropology or are currently taking a class in anthropology, you should have a good understanding of what anthropology is. But let's just take a moment and review. I usually describe anthropology as the discipline which asks the question, what does it mean to be human? There are, of course, a lot of disciplines that try to answer this question. But what I think distinguishes anthropology is that anthropology tries to simultaneously incorporate information from lots of different sources to understand and answer this fundamental question. In the United States, we generally break down anthropology into 4 separate subfields, which deal with different types of information and different kinds of methodological approaches. Ethnography, or cultural anthropology, studies human behavioral practices and the construction of meaning within human societies. Ethnographers oftentimes work by embedding themselves within cultural groups for long periods of time to try to get an insider's view as to how and why populations do what they do. Linguistic anthropologists take advantage of the fact that language occupies a uniquely important role in humans, not only for how we interact with each other, but how we develop and how we understand the world around us. Archaeology takes advantage of the material culture societies have left behind, often dating back to ancient times. However, unlike Indiana Jones and Lara Croft, archaeologists aren't interested just in finding artifacts from the past. Rather, they're interested in reconstructing patterns of behavior in the past and how cultural practices have changed over time. Finally, there's biological or physical anthropology. Biological anthropologists seek to understand human variation by looking at the biological mechanisms which shape that variation and by taking an evolutionary approach to understanding how variation is patterned across time in humans. Now, taking this definition of anthropology, it's important to recognize that there's a lot of different ways of developing knowledge about the human condition, about understanding what it means to be human. Part of being an anthropologist is recognizing that there are multiple ways to answer the same question, not all of them mutually exclusive. Some questions lend themselves more readily to biological explanations. Some lend themselves to cultural explanations. But many questions lend themselves to both simultaneously. To have a true understanding of the human condition, it is important to be able to integrate cultural as well as biological concepts and to apply these concepts to questions in anthropology.